3 racks now. This kind of throws the build off for me. Normally you would prefer to get the racks and then add on the double gases. That's otherwise it kind of doesn't make sense. Like you'd want to go for a factory as a follow-up to the kind of tech response coming out from your opponent from the early gas. But even Nox now playing this strange metagame style is kind of just like, alright, I'm going to throw down these extra gases. I'm going to extra racks, sorry. I'm going to use the earlier gas I had pulled and probably start stim in a matter of seconds, and then he'll have a stim timing available to him, as well as having this Reaper now jump up inside of the main base here, sees one gas, going to swing around, see the second gas, and that'd be quite interesting. Not clicking on anything just yet, just kind of whizzing around through the main, just seeing what's being produced, and sees the extra rack. So it's going to be a very bio versus bio style.
Absolutely, dude. And it's interesting because remember how we were talking about itty-bitty advantages? Noxer just got one. He has actually killed 2 workers to his opponent's 1. So he is now officially 1 SEV ahead. And again, that doesn't seem like much, but it can become much. The difference is, though, one player is taking his expansion actively. The other person is just kind of camping it in his base.
Little SCV trap gets sprung, takes it out. Marines doing a nice job cleaning out that Reaper. We see combat shields underway here first for Baby Wrath as opposed to the stim coming out of here from Noxer. So he's got the potential to be aggressive, but I do want to note on equal footing with Marine Medivac, the ones that start off with combat shields and don't have stim versus the ones with stim without combat shields win. That extra 10 hit points actually allows the Marines to live longer and just deal out more DPS.
So the combat shields win or the stim wins?
Combat shields win every time.
Wow, that is crazy. I would have thought completely the opposite. I've always thought of combat shields as like a buffer. Hey, it costs 10 HP to use stim. Hey, this ability gives me 10 HP. Huh. So you mean it's not like that?
It's kind of like they lose health and gained DPS, but the combat shields add health and maintain DPS on top of healing. But even in a straight up fight with without medivacs, combat shields will still win. Like this obviously goes into a corner. It's like if both players were to throw linear lines at each other, so there was like basically perfect
linear
concaves.
lines. Linear lines, really? Did you go there? Linear lines? Okay, go ahead.
Then combat shields will win every time. The extra DPS just overrides that of the stim. Like, I don't know why, it's just kind of like health versus health, and, well, the DPS just doesn't make up for it. Maybe if you had +1, you'd probably win, but we're talking about even footing, so like both players having even upgrades. The only difference is the stim versus the combat shields.
Dude, that is crazy. It's really the beauty of the specifics that makes StarCraft such a special game. It's not any one big overall thing. It's how much importance, how much significance is put into the details.
Definitely, all too true. Both these players looking like they're going to headbutt each other either in the middle of the map or someone's going to get a lucky drop in as they're both going for this bio-centric style. We're going to have the medivacs popping around the 30 seconds from now. We've got a bunch of Marines being constructed. Both the upgrades are going to finish up about the same time. Obviously combat shield's a little bit further ahead for the Terran player who's trying... I don't really know, it's kind of a bit of a suss out. Both players are actually very, very even. Although the +1 has finished up for Noxer a little bit earlier than it has for Baby Wrath, who's now following this up with a fast double engineering bay without going for a third CC. Which is interesting. So he wants to get an upgrade lead, at least through the mid-game. Meanwhile, Noxer looks like he's probably going to be aggressive and then expand.
Well, it's... Okay, so Blue is actually getting a lot... Oh. Okay, that completely changes things.
This does change everything.
Is this just like a hidden base, or is he trying to do something beyond that in terms of sneakiness?
Oh no, this is just a whole new level of sneakiness and metagame. When Blue goes to start pressuring him and realizes there's no third, he's probably going to try and set up some kind of siege and think he's just be able to commit semi-amount of units there and maybe start doing some drops. And if the drops do nothing and the semi-defense... Oh no, he's actually going to catch all these dropships in the middle of the map! Noxer with a huge snipe!
Oh, that was huge. GG!
Wow.
Wow. But take a look at something before I leave this game. 40 army supply for Noxer. 14 for Baby Wrath. He's right. It's GG.
Yeah, losing those two medivacs was absolutely massive. I couldn't imagine what would have happened. It just basically would have turned into, I'm just going to lift into your production and I'm going to win. That was...
That's a little embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate snipe there. But, well,
Well, that ties
like
it 3-3.
Yeah, we're going to go to the last... Like,
Ace match, guys. Now, in case you're not familiar with our rule set, we are using a Pro League format, but we're using a spin-off of it. This spin-off originated in Germany. I'm not sure exactly the name of the tournament, but it was a German tournament. I know that much. And basically, it allows you to recycle your any player you want to in your ace match. I think LP is bringing out Ruzlenko. I think TE... I don't know. What do you think?
I'd probably send out a Zerg, and I'd probably... Do they get to recycle the map?
Not 100% sure. I hope they don't ask.
Alright, well, I would probably
I
bring
don't
out a
think so.
Zerg.
I don't think so. I think it's whatever's left.
I'd probably bring out as... what apps have they got left? They've got Core Hole, Sky Islands, the Star Station. Yeah, I'd probably bring out a Zerg and I'd try and snipe him on Star Station. But we haven't seen any Zergs just yet for either side yet, have we? No, it's been all
yes, we have.
Teams.
Yes, we have. We did one Zerg.
Oh, it was a TVC. No, PVZ.
I think we had a PVZ and a TVZ. Hold on, I'll check replays.
Runner is confused.
You're always confused. We did a ZVT on Aquilon Waste and a ZVP on Neoplanet S. Neoplanet S was our first game, Aquilon Waste was our third.
Yeah, I would probably try and pick Star Station and go for a Zerg. Just because holding and maintaining a third on Star Station for Protoss is just too tedious against a Zerg player. Like, he'd have to result on like a 2-base timing attack to try and start some kind of snowball effect, just because of the architecture of the map.
I have to ask a question. If you're a ref and you ping something, does it show it to the players?
No.
Okay, yeah, Soulburn, I don't think that's right, bro. Sorry. I ping all the time. I'd have been yelled at before this, I'm sure. 3-3, man. I'm excited. Well, guys, this is a crunch time for the two managements of these teams. Because, think about it, man. It's 3-3. It's the ace match. You get to recycle a player. You're left with only a couple of maps. You're scrambling. You know it's game point. You really want to win this league. Oh, my God. What do I do? Who do I send out? Oh, my God! And that's how it is.
What would you do if you're in either side's position? What kind of player and what kind of Ruzlenko? And what kind of map you reckon you would choose?
Ruzlenko is a super aggressive player. He loves timing attacks. Core Hall is 50-50. You never know what you're going to get. It's two different maps in one, so that kind of narrows that out. Red City's really huge, but so is Star Station. Star Station, though, is really hard to hold third. So I'd send him up on Star Station. Who gets to choose map, though? Who lost that last game? Was it? It was Team Elite. So Team Elite gets to choose the map. So that's going to play a factor here as well. So they don't get to choose the map. That's no bueno bueno. I'm not that familiar with TE's lineup, but of all the players that I've seen of theirs so far, just trying to remember all the games. Bear with me 1 second. Boomer was ridiculously good. Do you think we're going to see a ZVP?
I reckon we will, man. I think it's definitely going to come down to that kind of composition, and I imagine it would be constructed around a Zerg that has a strong mid-game that can transition into swarm hosts.
Well, we saw a really strong mid game out of Boomer. Remember, he did that Ling Bing Ling all in, kind of around 8.5, 9 minutes. I don't know about Swarm Host. I don't know if that's something he's any good at, but he did show some really interesting aggression in the mid game. So that was a different matchup. Let's see how his EVP is. That's my lineup. How about yours?
I'd love to see another Terran, but that's just biased in me. I honestly think it's going to come down to a PBZ. And Ruslinko, from everything you've mentioned before, it definitely sounds like he's going to be the one that probably come up as the ace player. But as for Team E, like TE, I must be a player that already played. I don't know whether they're going to give Destiny another crack, so it could turn into a PvP because of his strange style. Or we might see... it would be good to see Boomer come out, I reckon. Boomer versus... or maybe even Dark. I don't know, it's too hard to think about it, man. I think it comes down to player preference on the map, and what map they want to choose. What do you guys reckon, by the way, in chat? If there is a favourite you want to see play, maybe you can call them out. Quickly type in their name. Currently, people who've played are Baby Wrath, Ruslinko, Darksaber, Gunshi, Destiny, 3-Step, and Havoc, and Boomer. If you guys want to see these players play, feel free to shout them out in chat while we set up the next game. Also, thanks, quick shout out to Ruslan Sosa and Adam Sands for liking Ninth Legion Gaming. Thanks guys, the support means endless to me.
Absolutely, man. Support goes a long way. Really, every click counts. That's our motto at the Claiming Casting Crew. Because really, even if you click a YouTube video, watch 30 seconds of it, and decide, hey, maybe this isn't for me, it helps out the broadcasters who made that video. It helps us get on front pages of like Reddit. And upvotes, likes, subscribes, those help out like 100 times as much. But only like things you actually like. If you like the content you're getting, then reward the people. You don't have to pay money for YouTube. You don't have to pay money for Reddit or anything like that. You pay in clicks. So if you like something, help out the broadcasters. If you don't, say Alt F4 GG no re. I mean, it's just that simple. Well, do we know? Do we know what map we want now?
Nope. Just a bit unfortunate, but you know, things are getting there. It's like both players, I think, are in a state of contention where they don't, well, both teams, sorry, are in a state of contention where they don't really know what to do. They're trying to really toss and turn and see what's probably the best choice because, well, at the end of the day, they want the win. This is what we're strive for. This is what players train for. Is that one moment, that one victory, that one moment to shine.
I'm reminded of an Eminem song. I'm about to look up lyrics and rap for you guys. Bear with me.
One moment, one opportunity. Just let it go.
Okay, so I'm gonna embarrass myself thoroughly. Please don't laugh too hard. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom, spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now. Everybody's joking now. The clock's run out. Time's up. Over. Blow! Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Okay, I'm done.
Good rap. It's actually a really good song. I don't, for the amount of rappers that are out there, there are a select few that I like, and Eminem is one of them. You know, some of his stuff's very dark. There's a lot of his, like, I suppose, more niche works that he does that I think is a lot more impressive, rather than the overly produced stuff.
Indeed. I'm reading through chat right now to see what's going on.
Come on, get us the map. This is a really down mellow song. The one thing I've realized when it comes to these kind of competitions is when players or teams, I suppose, feel like they've been like mistreated or abused in some essence, where they're like, well, no, it's not part of the rules. It's kind of like,
well, the problem is the Truth wrote the rules, and he thinks he knows them. The rules clearly state the word can. If someone wants to substitute, they're freely able to. If you don't want that to be in the rule set, it shouldn't be there. Can is clearly used, not must. Therefore, if English is not your primary language, you should have someone whose primary language it is. So I don't care anything about what it's supposed to be. The rules clearly state can, not must. There can be a substitution. Whatever.
spaghetti. Okay. Well, it looks like Noxer is going to be LP's player.
Indeed. Yeah, he revealed that to me earlier, but with all the contention, I didn't want to say that out loud because, I mean, everyone's like, ooh, rules this, rules that. Guys, when you're at game point, don't try to hide behind rules. It's fucking pathetic.
Just ruins it for everyone. Us over here in Australia, we just play as a game.
Indeed.
We'll get emotional after we lose, like for sure, but the big part of it's kind of just like, we'll just get straight to the point and we'll just do it. Beard. Beard, beard, no beard. Beard, beard, no beard. If your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two moms. Such a good song. Oh wow, really? That's strange, yeah. I really want to come to America at some point and stay there for like maybe 6 months or so. Maybe do some casting and things like that, stay at a team house and just soak up the environment, but I just don't have that kind of money at the moment. So it'd be kind of amazing, although I might try and talk to some of the other contacts I know. I did have plans to go stay in Korea for a bit, but that didn't really go through. It's unfortunate, but couldn't really change that at all. I definitely like to come and just hear the American accent because I think it's greatly over-exaggerated, especially like the Australian accent compared to the American accent. I don't think there's a massive difference. And again, everyone sits there and goes, oh my god, Australian accent, and then they jump out through a window. I don't know whether they're scared or whether they're just very, like, they just like what's going on.
Sorry, man. I'd love to speak with you. I'm just trying to get this game started because we've got a little bit of hold up in chat. Management's bickering. This.
Alright. There's a game. It's a Germans. Alright, so let's have a look here. Wait, what did they say they're playing?
Noxer.
Alright, so what a way to end the series.
Yeah, actually, it's none of the players we
yeah, that's a bit of a letdown. So it is going to be, what, a TVP for the end. Interesting. I don't mind this at all. Alright. The last game in this series currently going to be set up as a TVP between Noxer versus Havoc. I don't really know what to expect from these two players, but they are ready, so GLHF, let's commence. Alright, Team Elite versus... oh god.
Well, guys, I want to go ahead and say thank you for tuning in, for staying with us through that tumultuous period.
That was some downtime and a half.
That was, but we've still got 92 viewers. This is the UASL, that is the Union of America's StarCraft 2 Team League. We're using a Pro League format that is a best of 7 with the ace match, possibly using a revival, which is really an awesome technique. It's something that originated in Germany. It's a very, very interesting spinoff. It brings a completely different level of tactics and strategy to who you play, when, and why. We're actually going to be looking at a PVT today, and this is the ace match. So here on the top left-hand side in cross spawns, because it's the only way you can spawn on this map, it's Star Station. It's our pretty, well, I actually don't know what color that is. Pretty teal? I don't know. Havoc, Protoss, whatever. Anyways, here on the bottom right-hand side of Star Station, we have our pink Terran. He is the ace player. The one, the only Noxer! And guys, this is Shaft, the Planet Casting crew. With me tonight is 9th Legion's Run Amok, Josh McMillan, one of the best Terrans in the world. So let's hear his professional Terran opinion on everything Noxer does right now. Let's hear it right now.
Alright, well, he seems to be going for a gasless expand, which is quite interesting in TVP at least. Especially on Star Station, with a huge amount of cliff abuse to abuse things like Reapers to get information, it's kind of odd to see him go for a gasless expand. Yeah, Mineral's pulling out first, Marine's going to come out, he's actually going to skip the second depot and go straight for that CC on the low ground, so a little bit of a ballsy
it's a really
play.
Big map, isn't it? I mean, I understand it's ballsy, it's definitely ballsy. You could, maybe build it on the high ground, maybe not be quite as ballsy, but it's a really big map. It takes a while for anything to get across that. And quite frankly, warp gate isn't something you have to worry about during, a CC on the low ground stage, is it?
It depends on the kind of bust. We could see like a 3-gate into expansion. Like this is typically going back to Wings of Liberty, but My mate Grims prefers to do these kind of weird, strange, aggressive builds, or you've got like the one gate expand follow up into like a 4 gate, which means you cut probes at your natural and then just hit them at around 7 minutes with 4 gates. That can also throw Terran players off. Like if you're not expecting it and he gets the force fields behind the bunker so you can't get a repair on it, and then just focus fires it down with a bunch of like stalkers and zealots, it gets quite painful for the Terran player.
Oh, I can imagine, dude. No one likes getting hit from behind, especially when you left the KY at home.
Oh. Alright, so it does look like Nox are trying to get some sneaky information here, just queued basically along the entire cliff edge, wants to find out what's going on. We see a Twilight Council going down here for Havoc, who's possibly looking to mirror what Dark Saber did a little bit earlier.
Dude, I've completely lost my lighter. Ah, there it is. It was in my lap. Okay, so man, we've seen a lot of TVP tonight. Do you think these guys have learned from the previous TVPs, kind of got an idea of, you know, the other team's style? Because, you know, even though it might not have been the player that's playing right now, teams tend to kind of move in groups. Like, for example, Root Cats. He has influenced every Zerg player on his team, especially in matchups like ZVP. So you see teams kind of have the same ideology. Do you think these guys have learned from watching the stream, from watching the games, or do you think they're going to just kind of run something that they would normally run on ladder against someone they don't really know?
Definitely. I think there's a kind of like a lot of discussion amongst team players. Like when you start a proper team environment, you know, you guys are practicing together, you're generally watching how each other play, and you learn from each other's mistakes, and you kind of build off of the ideology to help each other grow. Now, one thing to note here right now is Nox has seen everything. He's going for tanks, he's going for the bunkers, he's going to play super safe. He's even going for a faster starport, which probably wouldn't be my best bet. Like, I prefer to go for the second racks, delay the starport, and just go for more bio and rely on the tanks for covering support. Maybe even go up and hide into my main, because he's actually too spread out right now, too few units. With the warp gate kicking in, Link's about to finish in what, about 40 seconds from now. Got a small pause going down from Havoc.
Yeah, interesting. Not sure what's going on there. It's never good to have a pause because, quite frankly, at the highest level, players don't really look at the in-game timer. They use intuition, and this really messes with your flow. Like, you have a rhythm build up, and this completely destroys that.
Too true, too true. Now, I don't think there's going to be enough units. I think he'll be able to blink up aggressively, probably just divert these main set of bunkers and go more to the right of Nox's base, and then just probably end it. Like, this tank has a nice position, it's covering basically the main ramp and into the natural, but there's a huge gap leading into the main, and there's one bunker with one marine in it. He's trying to produce more marines. There's even a tech lab.
Banshee Cloak is on the way, dude. So he's basically putting a clock on this Protoss. The Protoss, yes, he has a lot of stalkers. Banshees don't do great against stalkers, but mix that into everything else that the Terran has, and he can definitely do work. The problem is, there are, like, 12 stalkers inside of his base. Ouch. There's a proxy pylon, there's a mothership core, there's 3 more stalkers on the way. He's doing this blink timing. We saw it in another PPT. It was Dark Saber's game. This is the exact same build. Havoc said, "This is my build. You stole my build." And I guess Noxer wasn't watching.
Yeah, well, he's getting in here. He takes out the refinery. A bunch of SCVs looking like they're in the firing line right now. Stalker Phase is getting shot off left, right, and center. He's now even working on some depots. He's found a nice little sweet spot here as well, where the command center's getting hit, but the tank isn't actually giving any kind of support fire. He's trying to focus down this
God, the bunker!
He might get it. Oh, so close. There's a huge repair going down.
OP! Repair OP! Oh my god, that was close.
Right, and it does look like Havoc's forced to back out. The first Banshee's underway. First one's about to hit into his base. Cloak's about to finish as well, so he's just abusing the fact that there's no robotics facility. Whoop, aggressive blink forward, takes out one tank, but there's 2 tanks. A bit of a follow-up here. He's now working his way back onto the bunker.
The problem is, he's hemorrhaging SCVs right now. He's still got 7 as far as the lead goes, so he's got a little bit of a buffer, But these stalkers could easily just start targeting down SCVs. They're doing that now. And that's going to be a game changer. Rather than focusing this bunker, take care of what's actually healing the bunker. He just built himself a better concave, but there's still too many SCVs. Ooh, mules. Give me mules. Yes, kill mules. But now he's trying to take a position in the mineral line, which is actually really awesome because the bunker doesn't cover that. There's no reason to hold that territory that he was holding, to the top right of the bunker because, there's much more valuable territory down here that just isn't defended.
Let's try and do some extra